A new chapter in American history. One day after Joe Biden secures the presidency, the president-elect is already hard at work building his administration. Good evening, I'm Brian Wilk. After Joe Biden's victory this weekend following one of the most contentious presidential campaigns in history, Fox News reporter Caroline Shively tells us the new president-elect is already getting to work on assembling his new administration. Fox 66 News is your local election headquarters.
Now that the race has finally been called, President-elect Joe Biden is turning his attention to the transition process. President-elect Joe Biden visiting his son Beau's grave after attending church Sunday in Delaware, ahead of his first full day of action building his new administration. The transition team already announcing the head of a new COVID task force, Dr. Vivek Murthy, a former Surgeon General who had been serving as a public health advisor for the campaign. As a candidate, Biden made an effort to reach across party lines, and this could extend to his cabinet picks. Though progressives who helped build the coalition which led Biden to victory are also making a bid to be included.
Progressive grassroots movements, black and brown and white and environmental, etc., labor, played an enormously important role in bringing out the vote. The progressive movement today deserves important places in the Biden administration.
Allies of President Trump say he does not plan to concede the race anytime soon. So far, Senate Republicans have not backed the president's claims of widespread voting fraud.
It's important for the cause of democracy and freedom that we don't allege fraud and theft and so forth unless there's very clear evidence of that. And at this stage, that evidence hasn't been produced.
The president-elect says he's moving forward and at his victory speech vowed to represent even those who voted for his opponent.
For all those of you who voted for President Trump, I understand the disappointment. It's time to put away the harsh rhetoric, lower the temperature, see each other again, listen to each other again.
We still don't know if Biden will be working with the Senate majority. That all depends on two runoff races set for Georgia in January. In Wilmington, Delaware, Caroline Shively, Fox News.
President-elect Joe Biden is expected to take a seat in the White House in January. This comes after winning the pivotal state of Pennsylvania. Star Bodie joins us now in the control room with reaction from Erie County Democratic and Republican Party chairman. Hi, Star.
Hi, Brian. It was a waiting game for President-elect Joe Biden and the country as they waited for Pennsylvania to cast ballots for days after the election. For days, Americans were asked to be patient as ballots were counted across the United States. This comes as Erie County gains national spotlight during a historic election process.
For a county this size to have the relatively small, difference, but as we said, as Erie County goes, so goes the state and nation.
The Erie County Board of Elections counted more than 58,000 mail-in ballots. Republican Chairman Veryl Salmon says mail-in ballots were convenient for President-elect Joe Biden.
It's also a way of lazy voting, that you don't have to go to the polls or study the issues or anything, that we'll send it to you in the mail, and people got 1, 2, 3, 4 invites from different sources.
Erie County Democratic Party Chairman Jim Wirtz believes residents used mail-in ballots early on.
What we saw is that if you increase access to the ballot, people will take advantage of that, and they most certainly did this year, not only in Erie County but across the United States.
The Democratic Party chairman in Erie County says it's time for President-elect Joe Biden to get the work and help flourish Erie's economy.
Infrastructure is huge. Erie County has an aging infrastructure, whether you're talking about municipal services and the sewer lines that run underneath the city, whether you're talking about rural broadband.
Now, Chairman Salmon says President-elect Joe Biden needs to look and review it for issues across the country like the economy and pro-life. Brian?
Thank you, Star. Local women in politics are reacting to news of Kamala Harris making history as the first female vice president-elect. Chelsea Swift spoke to former and current female community leaders about this moment in history.
Absolutely time for a vice president to be a woman in this country.
That's former Erie County Executive Judy Lynch, the first female to hold that position. She says Vice President-elect Kamala Harris will be an inspiration for women, especially young girls.
They can be anything they want to be. They can be president, they can be vice president, they can do whatever it is their choice is.
And one member of the Erie School Board says she's excited for the future with a woman of color in a position of power.
It was a very significant win for women and the minority community. I just feel really good about it, like she kind of just leading the way for other women in general.
A wide range of emotions for local community leaders. One member of City Council says Kamala Harris's acceptance speech made her emotional.
How emotional I got during her speech. I'm the oldest of 6 children, including 3 younger sisters. I have granddaughters.
Liz Allen adding she was thinking of her family during this historic moment. She believes women have qualities that could be beneficial in the political world.
There are some skills that women bring to the table in terms of collaboration, in terms of listening, in terms of bringing together.
Chelsea Swift, Fox 66 News.
For all your election news anytime, head to our website, yourerie.com. To weather now, meteorologist Craig Flint has your Fox First forecast. Hey, Craig.
Hi there, Brian. Sorry, I was working on some things and I forgot to put my microphone on. So let's get that on. Tom Atkins would be proud of me. Anyway, here's a look at what's going on outside right now. Quick fill camera. And we do have a clear sky over the region right now. And I expect temperatures where they are right now in the low 50s. That's pretty much where we're going to stay as we head through the rest of the night. And with the clear sky, that should mean a good deal of sunshine through the day tomorrow. So nice and quiet on Storm Tracker. Currently 53, no wind. So we'll have to see if that temperature drops a little bit more, but somewhere in the low 50s we think. But another good looking day with some bright sunshine again on Monday and could be near record warm levels. Details in the complete forecast coming up. I'll be ready this time. Just a few minutes. Brian.
Thanks, Craig. Multiple fire companies battle ablaze in Crawford County Sunday night. The story's new tonight at 10 o'clock. Crews were called to the 16,000 block of Cusawago Road in Meadville around 8:30 Sunday night. Upon arrival, crews found the house fully engulfed in flames. According to reports on the scene, nobody was home at the time, but several pets did perish in the flames. The cause of the fire is under investigation. According to the Meadville Tribune, the Crawford County Sheriff's Office has 7 confirmed COVID-19 cases. Several deputies and 1 support staff are among its 17 employees as of Friday. Only deputies and staff with no exposure or who have been tested negative are working in a limited capacity. The Adult Probation Office will be assisting the Sheriff's Office in the meantime. And it's another double-digit increase of COVID-19 cases in Erie County. That's according to the State Department of Health. On Sunday, the State Department of Health reported 54 new cases of COVID-19, bringing the total number of cases to 2,596. Across Pennsylvania, there were 2,909 new cases. The total number of state COVID-19 cases is just over 230,000. There were 5 new deaths reported, bringing that total number of deaths to 9,020. Across the region, Crawford County reporting 27 new cases. Warren County is up 2 to 85 cases. Chautauqua County, New York, currently at 1,165. Ashtabula County, Ohio, has 53 new cases, bringing the total to over 1,100. The Anna Shelter and the Fairfield Fire Department teamed up today to help the community. It's good news tonight at 10 o'clock. People dropped off donations of bleach detergent, paper towels, trash bags, and gift cards. Organizers say with COVID, many nonprofits are struggling. All donations go towards the Anna Shelter as they get ready for winter. The drive is to also honor a Harbor Creek man and his dog that died in a fire.
I think it's a great opportunity for the community, especially on such a beautiful day, to make a Dog's Day for the Anna Shelter, but to remember every nonprofit organization in our community. These nonprofit organizations help us help many populations that are disenfranchised.
They're also urging people to check batteries in their smoke and carbon monoxide detectors. Coming up on Fox 66 News, remembering a legend, the nation mourning the loss of game show host Alex Trebek after losing his battle with cancer. Plus, learning the ropes. We'll show you how these folks are learning to become nationally known coaches. And proudest achievement. A young man with Down syndrome is making history in this Florida Ironman Challenge.
See news happening? Shoot it, then send it to us via Facebook or the Your Erie To Go app on your smartphone. See it.